Good morning. It's 10:15 on Thursday, the 22nd of August 2022, and that means that we have completed 2 years and 20 weeks of this roughly 8-year fire journey, experiment, whatever you want to call it. So we're a quarter way through. And just looking at the markets today, the green line is actually roughly about level with the finger there at the top right. So currently today we have a slight fall so far of just over 1/10%. As things stand, current market value 81.37. And in terms of the portfolio, we currently have 221 and a half shares. That at this moment worth 18,031, and that represents a return on investment of just over 21%. Our average purchase price is sitting at 67.17. And as you can see, current price represented again just beneath there. So yes, to just explain to anybody that hasn't watched the channel before, this is a experimental, it's the practice account on Trading 212. They give you 50,000 theoretical pounds to play with. And what I do is I invest £120 every week. I'm using the Vanguard S&P 500. It's the S&P index, but the top 500 in the index. We have it as an exchange traded fund here on Trading 212, and I put in £120 a week, and at that rate of going it's going to take roughly 8 years to exhaust the 50,000 in the account. So that's way down at the bottom here. You can see we've got 35,120 in free funds. It's basically just a reflection of the amount that's still left to go, if you like. So as I say, we're roughly a quarter way through. Currently the value of the account is sitting at 53,180. That's only possible because of the growth, because as I say, with a practice account you only get 50,000 to play with. So you can see what has happened in the time since we started this 2 years and 20 weeks ago. Right, with that said, let's have a little look at the notifications since the last time. AGN or Aegon, I'm not sure how you say that, down 5.5% after key capital generation metric declines in the first half. PagSeguro Digital down 12% following a Q2 earnings miss. Biggest stocks before earnings: Toronto Dominion Bank, Synopsys, Peloton Interactive, Zoom Video Communications, Snowflake. Macy's, that must be, down 13% after cutting sales guidance amid struggles with picky shoppers. JD.com down 7% as Walmart announces sale of $3.6 billion stake. Target soars 14% after stellar quarter, ending streak of falling revenue. Boeing down 4.4% after halting 777X test flights due to cracks in a critical component. Biggest stocks before earnings: Target, Analog Devices, Macy's, Emerin Group, TJX Companies. Fabrine soars 18% on strong guidance after topping quarterly estimates, and I've no idea if I pronounced that correctly or not. But what I would say is I don't recognize the majority of the names there, and that's part of the beauty of buying the index, is that each time I buy a share, I'm buying a small slice of up to 500 companies, 500 leading companies in the S&P 500 index. I don't need to know what they are because the index is self-cleansing. Somebody else does that for me. Somebody else looks and sees which companies are doing well and which are not doing so well. Right, the ones that are not doing so well, there are other companies that are just outside that 500 that could replace them, and if so, that's what happens. It happens automatically without any intervention from me or anyone else, and it's better probably than having a managed portfolio because it's kind of automatically managed. Um, Now, funny enough, in the meantime, the figures for today have flipped around slightly, and we're currently showing a tiny, not even a tenth of a percent positive shift, but it's just interesting to see that happen whilst I was talking. Right, now that we've had a look at the notifications and explained why, it's basically all balls, in as much as it's not feasible to do your own due diligence and really get to grips with 500 plus companies, and decide which of those you should invest in and which you should avoid like the plague. That's not feasible. So it makes much more sense just to buy the index, and rely on the fact that typically those companies that are doing well drag everyone else up along with them. So with that said, guys, let's go ahead and put in our weekly investment of £120 into the Vanguard S&P 500 exchange traded fund, seen here on the Trading 212 practice platform. Today, with the increase in price that there has been, that's going to buy us roughly 1.47 shares as opposed to the 1.5 that we've been able to buy in the past. Let's put that through as a market buy. As far as I'm aware, the market is open because I don't think we would see a fluctuating figure for today otherwise. And see how we go. Oh, there it actually tells you. This is slightly different. In the past, it had appeared up at the top right, but here we actually have a notification now of, or a bigger notification rather than one that appears and disappears at the top right. So we got 1.47 shares and they were bought at 81.47. Actually slightly under the current market value, so we did all right there. I'm more accustomed to seeing the purchase price being slightly higher than the sort of the current market value. Right, so I'm assuming, I think the figures on the right have updated because I see that we now have 18,180 in portfolio value, and also the average price has increased by roughly 10p. As far as I can tell, I think it was 67.17, it's now 67.27, which is normal. It's simply a reflection of the fact that we have dollar cost averaged in the upwards direction, as a result of the fact that the portfolio is currently showing a positive return, as opposed to a drop. I suppose the only time where you wouldn't dollar cost average is when the basically when the portfolio value is exactly the same as the purchase price. So I suppose immediately after you make a purchase, if there's been no change, well, at that time then everything is still exactly the same. And theoretically there's no way to dollar cost average because there's no difference in price. Bit of a long-winded way of explaining things, but I think it's important to understand that dollar cost averaging works in both directions, whether the difference between the average purchase price and the current market value is positive or negative. But that's fine, it's normal, it's expected. And as things stand, it is quite simply a reflection of the growth that there has been since we started this fire journey. just trying to think if there's anything else to say today. Actually, I meant to say at the start, though I think I forgot. Today, the 22nd of August, Thursday, is actually GCSE results day. Last Thursday was the results for A levels, and I'm very pleased to say that both my kids have done pretty well. I'm very proud of what they've achieved in both A levels and GCSEs, albeit education is not the be all and end all, but it's good when you have very little other options that they can make a go of it. Guys, that's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching, and if you are interested in following the journey, why not subscribe to the channel? If you particularly liked this episode, give it a thumbs up, and if you've got any questions, comments, or remarks, just make sure you steer clear of anything that's going to land you in trouble with Sir Keir Starmer. Feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and have a great end to your Thursday. I will see you next week for anybody who is able to watch at that time. Goodbye for now.